firstly I want to thank my family who I've travelled with. I love you all, and yeah, let's do the do. And my brother Jordan, isn't he wonderful?
Yes.
Kia ora koutou, my name is Haihaitu Barrett. I hail from Ngāti Whakauē, our tribe in the Central North Island, which is a sub-tribe of our big tribe, Tarawa. And I'm really privileged to stand and kōrero speak here in Atlanta. And particularly just following the kōrero, the conversation that was just held around the yellow bus, and our journey that we undertook 6 years ago to ensure that when we deliver this thing called the Housing First program, that we were informed what the kaupapa, what it was about, but more importantly, when we took it home, how did we make it real for us? And when you are travelling and learning an international program, your heart, your mind, your wairua, your spirit is actually sitting at home as you're listening to all the platforming, because you're trying to understand how can we make immediate change for the struggle that we face every day when we look at this thing called homelessness. The Housing First program in Aotearoa, New Zealand, started in 2014-15, and our professor, as we've all come to know, Sam, travelled over to New Zealand, and he presented and trained a number of us in the program. That was in the city of Auckland, which is our the big guns. It's the big city of New Zealand. But when we went into Rotorua, where we're from, we really had to look at the paradigm shift of coming out from such a westernised model that we thought it was, and how do we tailor this model to fit us as Māori, as the people of the land. And we actually had to take Sam into the people of the land. So he spent time with us in our villages. We took him to our rehabilitation centres. We took him to where a lot of our people who struggle with drug and alcohol issues, we took him into rehabs. But each time we took him somewhere, the exact ceremony that you all got to observe this morning happened for Sam, everywhere we took him. When he returned back to these waters, he returned with a taonga, a gift, a kaitiaki we call it. We protected him because we knew he'd come back. And when we arrived and saw each other, we came in on the first day of the conference, that immediate connection of spirit happened. It didn't matter that the program was here in place. What mattered was those two spirits connected. That's a demonstration that when we come together as people of the land and share our wairua and share our place of being with others, that can really infuse a connection of power. We've been travelling around internationally and globally for the last 4 years, really starting, I could say, a crusade of we've had enough of getting the scraps. We've had enough of being the highest statistics, not just in homelessness. The root causes, as we all know, you just don't wake up and decide, I'm going to be homeless today. We're from a land where we don't know landlessness. We don't understand homelessness. We do not understand disconnect, because our ancestors have enabled us to travel and know who we are and know where we come from. So when we travel, we already know that the group of 6, each one of us carries on these shoulders the tupuna, ancestors, tribal connection. We are never alone. That's why we can stand anywhere in the world with conviction and know we are safe, but also know that we've come to share and understand, because the same face that I see in the streets of Rotorua is the same face that you see every day. It's the same disconnect. It's the same feeling of worthlessness. It's the same feeling of failure from people that we serve. But if we come together for a common cause globally and influence those levels of decision making about us, wow, look at that power. When I was in Canada last year and San Francisco, I deemed it as something demonic was happening in the streets. When I was stepping over people, when I was walking around them, when I saw the little tents on my way to meet with the HUD, they were right outside the doorstep. What better co-design than having right outside the doorstep? But they don't speak to them. They didn't even look at them at all. We got looked at strange because we stopped. We got looked at strangely. When I left America and went back to Aotearoa, I had to go into the lake that is by my house to cleanse all of that, because I could still feel it. And Jordan spoke about triggers. I could not transfer that into the mahi that we do, the work that we do every day. So that's that self-care. Even at the highest level of leadership, right down to the lived experience, right throughout the communities of the volunteers, we have to have self-care. And in a spiritual sense, when you see that, that is not just the physical, there's so much around it. There's so much around it that it's too dark. It's just too dark. That's a power we can only heal with an Indigenous lens. Not a prescription. An Indigenous lens of ceremony, of 400 years, I heard yesterday, of trauma. 400 years and still cannot be housed and are still getting walked around. The Housing First program works because it's led by us. It's designed by us. It is us. We've made it our business to make it us, because it's us we serve. It's us we serve. In the New Zealand Housing First program, you cannot do anything without tribal authority. Yes. You cannot do anything in any of those programs, because I have made it my business in New Zealand to make sure wherever we deliver, the tribal authority takes paramount to the funder. I have made it my business to tell the highest level of government, these are our communities. These are our people. This is my whenua. This is my land. You're the visitor.
Yes.
You're the visitor. Each part of global platforming ignites the passion, but mobilizes the spirit. When the spirits are joined, and wherever we fly back to, we will know that in 2025, 6, 7, 8, we're taking over. But we're not taking over what they call the program. We're regaining our tino rangatiratanga, our self-determination, our authority to be able to be ourselves again. Live in the way our ancestors lived. Have the freedom of right to speak about it. And don't feel whakamā, shy.
Yeah.
Platform on the bigger stages, not in the workshops. Platform the voice where all the dignitaries sit. So when they leave, they shudder. Because thus the spirit of the words that we impart are unfamiliar to the contracts that we sign. There has to be a paradigm shift. There has to be. Otherwise, the stats will heighten. The poverty will heighten. The tears will heighten. The deaths will increase. When we can prevent, we can stand and we can make change. So when we travel home again, and I'm over in Australia in May with the Aboriginal, the people of their land, because they've had enough as well. They've had enough of being homeless, landless, in their own land. In their own land. Something's got to give. And for too long, it's been us.
Right.
For too long. So when Jordan and I and the whānau, when we walked around this conference with the pride of our ancestors, that's a conviction that cannot be shifted. When you are sent from your tribe with spiritual karakia, prayer of pride and love, we go protected. But we can also see that we need to share that protection, because all the slides that we've been seeing are about us. They're about us.
Mm-hmm.
We looked at it, it's poor, black people, indigenous, indigenous, this, that. We have our voice.
Yep.
We have a strong voice.
Mm-hmm.
We have a voice, and we're going to use it.
Yep.
When we signed Te Riti, our partnership with the Crown, at the land where Jordan just described, where Jordan's from actually. When we did that, partnership with the Crown. Partnership with the Crown. What happened to the partnership with the Crown? We are still fighting today about the partnership with the Crown. We are still having to apply for contracts, and we've got supposed to have a partnership with the Crown. We are seeing a lot of funding streams going into the mainstream organisations that are saying that they are serving us, but we have organisations of our own. We have leadership of our own. So where is the partnership with the Crown? The partnership with the Crown needs to be upheld. The partnership of the Crown gives you the authority that there's a partnership. So where is it? At a global level of Indigenous leadership, we can all say we've been told around partnership. But where is it? Because the whānau, families, people, youth, I went to the youth presentation yesterday, the mahi that's happening, the work in Canada, that the kids are told they can't even meet the family. Where's the healing supposed to happen of the trauma? How's that going to be facilitated? All of this will lead into adulthood, and then we'll see the cycle again of our own. Where is the partnership of the Crown when those situations happen? This is the reality of what we face every day. The Housing First kaupapa, where you hear that word kaupapa program. The Housing First program isn't just about the house. It's what's required. The support services, the connection to support services, the rebuilding of confidence again, the rebuilding of value, the rebuilding of purpose. It's the start. It's not just placement, it's the start. So where we are, what we're doing at this conference, and I know we're going into another where to from now, we need to all stand and say we're going to make some change. We've got some voices happening. We understand ourselves and we know how to heal ourselves as ourselves. That's what we will be taking back. That's an open forum for anyone to get up and say, because we can all do it. So, I don't know how much time we've got left. Jordan will tell me. I'm the one that puts us on the bus to, we don't know where we're going. I don't know. But yeah, I'll hand back to Jordan. But those are it's the messages of hope. But really, it's the messages of hope from ourselves to ourselves. Ngā mihi nui ki a koutou. Thank you.
Hope.